We're back. Late night shoot. It's been a long day. Worked from home today. Got my second telework day, which means I'm off Mondays, working from home Tuesdays, working from home Wednesdays. So I'm big chilling. Never had a dream job, but this has became the dream job. I got a pension, whole bunch of dope benefits. But that's not enough, man. It's not enough for me, guys like me. I'm not satisfied with it. Some people I work with have been working there for over 5 years. I don't really have a boss. I have a supervisor, so I'm not really working for another man. I work for the county, so I work for the government, which is even worse than working for another man, in my opinion. But my job is great, and I love it, right? It's amazing. Some people would literally die to have my job, and I understand I'm blessed to be in the position I'm in, because right now in California it's very hard to get a job, especially a job of the caliber that I've gotten. But at the end of the day, I understand I want more out of life. I want more for myself, I want more for my family, I want more for my community. There's only been one person that I know of from Gilroy who's made it in the manner that I want to make it in. And that was Jeff Garcia. He was a pro football player. He played in the NFL. I'm sure there's a bunch of wealthy people who've made money in other ways from Gilroy who have more money than Jeff Garcia. But he's the only one that I've actually been close to and actually know of, like, in a real way. And I've played football. You know, I understood that football was only meant to get me to a certain level, and I've made peace with that. I made peace with that before I went back to college. That's why I didn't have no grandiose ideas and plans like most college kids have. Because when you're 18, 19 going into college, you think you're going to the NFL. But at that time, you don't understand anything but what you've done on the field up until that point. And the sad reality is that playing college football is already a 1% type thing to do. 1% of every man in America gets to play college football. So the percentage of men that make it from college football to the NFL is so small. And there has to be so many things in place, not just your God-given talent, but you have to have so many things in place to make it. And that was really what caused me to go down the path I did. You know, I had these grandiose expectations coming out of high school, and I didn't get it. I didn't get what I thought I deserved at the time. But now that I'm grown and I understand, I know I was not going to get no D1 offer. I didn't deserve that. I wasn't that caliber of a person. I might have been good enough almost on the field, but when it came to the all-encompassing totality of a D1 college athlete or a D1 high school player coming out of high school, I was not even 25% of that, you know? And I'm okay with that. I've made peace with that. I understand that, you know? I still went back to school. I got my degrees. I went pro overseas. And my football career is content. I never wanted to be the guy who's like 6 or 7 years removed, didn't even try to go pro, and still posting practice clips. That's not a good look, you know? I never wanted to be that guy. To each his own, but that's not me. I don't even have a practice clip saved in my phone because it's practice. But I've gotten to this place where I'm back in my hometown. I'm grinding. I'm going to work, right? But I want more, man. And it hurts me to see that some of the people that, you know, I'm close to, you know, that I've been close to when I left, they were doing something. And now that I'm back almost 10 years later, they're still really doing the same thing. You know, we hear this term motion, right? Everybody has motion, you know? Right, all of a sudden, right? And it's like a lot of people have motion, but there's no progress, you know? And just everything inside of my body just says, like, don't settle down, bro. Don't get a girl pregnant and don't get married and don't buy a house. I don't know why. If you feel this way, please comment, bro, because, bro, the internet, man. I know this is going to work. I know eventually I'll find my community and create my community, but right now, bro, this shit sucks, bro, because, like, I really be dolo by myself, and I'm very much okay with being alone. I'm the youngest of 9 kids, so I had to play by myself a lot. Like, my closest sibling is 18 years older than me, so, like, I was always alone, you know, growing up. My mom started leaving me at home in 2nd grade because she worked a lot, so I would play by myself, play, you know, with my friends, but when my friends couldn't play, I had to play by myself, so I got no problem being alone. But like right now in my 30s, my late 20s. I'm about to be 30 next year. Like, I've gotten to this point to where, like, I've been home, I've done a bunch of good things, and I'm trying to bring people along with me because I know how much potential they have. I know if we combine what I can do and what they have done already and what they can continue to do with what I got, we could create something so special, not just for me, but for my entire city, for our entire family, for our entire community, you know? But I've come home, and a lot of the people I was like, you know, we're no longer the same. We've all grown apart, you know, and that's not right or wrong. That's just how life is, you know, and I'm having a lot of struggles like accepting that, because I'm from a city. The culture is Chicano, and we only have one gang here, you know what I mean? And all these people I'm talking about don't gang bang. You know, I am a gang member, but I don't gang bang, which means like I'm not actively looking for oppositions to get on them, you feel me? I made a decision when I was young and I joined a gang, but I'm a grown man now, and like I don't got nothing to prove to no one. Like, I'm very much okay with my criminal career. Like, I've done enough, and what I didn't do, I don't have to do, because it's not for me. If it was for me, I would have did it. You know what I mean? And that's just a little nugget for the youngsters, bro. Never let nobody in your life, in your circle, make you feel any type of way because you're not out there crashing out, bro. Or never let nobody make you feel any kind of way because you never got caught, bro. You know, you got nothing to prove, bro. That's a short-lived life cycle, right? There's only two endings: jails or institutions or death. 3 endings. That's the only way that life ends, bro. And if you're living that life trying to avoid those 3 things, you need to get the fuck out the way, because if you're really out there doing what you're supposed to, willing, active participant, you need to understand that that's what's coming. So you need to go all in if that's what you want to do, bro. Don't half step nothing, you feel me? And don't tuck your tail and fold up, bro. Make your decision, stand on it, and when you get your opportunity, bro, get the fuck out the way, bro. But if you've already made the decision and you're too deep in it, I can't make you do nothing. But my boy, please, you know what I mean? Save yourself as soon as you get the chance, right? And back to what I'm saying, yeah, all these people aren't gang members, but like, that's the culture, bro. It's together, bro. It's a very small city. It's Gilroy, California. We're a very close-knit community, bro. So every time I come home, it's like I want to be with my brothers and do things with my brothers. But I'm at this point now where it's like, we're not brothers no more, bro. Like I'm sure we love each other, and I'm sure they love me, but I just have to accept, you know, like I want different things, and some people don't want that, man. And it's been a hard pill for me to swallow, because I thought we were so much alike, me and these people, but I've gotten to the points where it's best that I just let go of them. And it's not like fuck them, it's just like I can't fuck with them, because I saw this quote online and it said, like, if you vibrate high and you're after your goals, you're after your dreams, and you believe it can be done, and you're trying, and you know if you can get your boy to do it, or your people, your old friends to do it with you, it could be even greater. But it's like, God has put me through the things necessary to feel and act this way, right? He compared it to like training for a marathon. It's like, if you've been training for a marathon for 6 months, and then on the last day, your boy that you've known for hella long wants to work out with you. He has some workout experience, but like, he's not going to be able to finish the training. He's not even going to make it past the first 25% of it. And then if he runs the marathon with you, you're going to eventually lose, because you're going to have to take care of him. You're going to have to make sure he's okay. He's going to get hurt, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what he's talking about. Like, God hasn't prepared them to be able to do the things I'm willing to do and prepared to do. I don't know why, and I don't know for what reason. That's not, you know, that's up to God, you know what I mean? But for whatever reason, they haven't prepared their spirit, their souls. They haven't been prepared through life experience to have their spirit and their souls ready to take on a journey or to take on a mission like this, you know? And I've been in a place where I've been trying to get everybody to, you know, get on board. Like, let's do it. Like, starts in the gym. And it's like, even something like the gym that's beneficial for you, like, there's nothing negative can come from the gym. It's even that, like, you know, I can't even get my boys to get into the gym, man. And it's like, I know it's not a me thing, it's a them thing, but I've been blessed with a big heart, and I care and I love so deeply, you know what I mean? So I found myself finding, you know, ending up with dis-ease internally after being around certain individuals, you know what I mean? Because I just can't accept. I can accept that they're happy and healthy. No, I can't accept that they're happy. I can accept that they're not on drugs and they're healthy for the most part. But the things that some people have found happiness in don't sit right with me, and I can't judge them on their life because it's their life. But like, I have every right to not be around the energy if it doesn't sit right with me, you know. And that doesn't, like, again, I said, that doesn't mean fuck them. It just means I can't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? And it hurts, honestly, because I love all my boys, all my homies, and all my regular friends. You know, I separated like that. I got the homies from the clique, the gang, and then I got my friends, you know, like kids I played football with, kids I just went to high school parties. You know, I had a very blessed childhood where I was able to literally have one foot in and one foot out. That's why I'm where I'm at today. You know what I mean? I never want to come on here and portray like I'm the biggest gangster. I got the most tailored jacket, because I don't, bro. Like, I did what I was supposed to, I did what I was told, and then as soon as it was time, I got back in my lane, bro. And the whole time I was out there, the homies already knew, because I'm really from here, bro. I'm really from my city. I really walked these streets. I've walked the entire city. I really hung out in the neighborhoods I'm not supposed to be in, and stayed up all night with the homies and done everything I was supposed to do. But they all remember, bro. We all remember, you know. They all remember I was the little black kid who was hella good at sports, bro. So as soon as I got the opportunity to do that, bro, that's what I did. And the homies let me do my thing, bro. And ain't nobody ever tried to come at me about where am I at? How come I don't come around? It's very evident, you know, what I'm on and what I'm up to. And the homies respect that, because you can't not respect a man focus on his purpose. You can't not respect a man, you know, doing what he's supposed to do for his family, for himself first, and for his community as a whole, right? But I've gotten to the place where I know and I understand that the only thing I can do to salvage these friendships and remain, like, to make sure they stay intact somewhat, because I don't want to not be friends with these fools, because these are my brothers, bro. I love them. You know what I mean? It's just to not mess with them and not be around them. And I was talking to my mom about this, and she brought up a very, you know, relevant point. She told me, Ray, you got to understand, like, your friends are operating out of jealousy and envy. And, you know, I understand all of our advice we get from our parents can't be right because it's a different time. But at the end of the day, I've always been the type to respect my elders and take anything they say into consideration, because simply, no more, no less, they're older than me. I don't care. I don't feel little broed. Like, that's stupid and whack. Like, you got to get the game from someone. And in my experience, my mom is usually right more than wrong. But she's like, Ray, most of your friends are operating out of jealousy and envy. And I'm like, damn, why you say that? Like, because I don't feel that, you know what I mean? But when I was on drugs, right? Like when I became a part of the gang and I decided to make that, you know, the life I was living, like, I was very high. Like, I was not saying it was a mistake or anything, but I had gotten to some shit and got a hold of some shit that had me in a chokehold. I was smoking dope real bad, like real bad. I was hooked on it by like 17 years old, right? And bro, like, when I tell you, growing up, like, I was that nigga, bro. I'm not exaggerating, bro. I'm the only black kid in this city, bro. I was not the only one, but one of the only ones. And I was good at football. And I was a black kid from a Mexican city that didn't say I wasn't from Gilroy. So a lot of Mexicans in my city growing up, they really love me like I'm Mexican. They love me like I'm really, you feel me? And I love them the same because I'm really from here, you know what I mean? So I had everything growing up. So many friends, so many parties I threw. It was packed. People used to beg me at high school at lunchtime, be like, can I come to your party? And she's like, they're operating out of envy, jealousy, because I always say, like, when I was on drugs, bro, like none of my friends, like, checked on me, bro. None of my friends, like, reached out to see if I needed help or to ask why I was even doing it. You feel me? The only people I could count on, bro, was the gang, bro. The only people that were there were my fucking homies, you know what I mean? And Ash and Michelle. But besides that, for the most part, man, these dudes that I think of as my brothers, they left me, bro. And I gave them a pass. I gave everybody a pass at that time who left me, in my opinion, because I made the decision to get high. I was the one on drugs, and I know how I get, you know? Like, nobody could tell me nothing. And I just said, like, we were all kids. Like, this was from, like, age 16 to, like, 19 or 20. No, 19. So, like, we were kids. We were so young. Like, so I gave them a pass because I'm like, I can't expect another kid to help another kid off meth, right? But, like, And I understand, even if they did reach out, like, I probably wouldn't have took the advice, and there's nothing they could have physically done to me. You know, they couldn't come get me and grab me because it's not, I've never been the type, you know? So that was the past I gave them. But my mom let me know, she's like, Ray, some people who are still around didn't expect you to get off dope. You know, the reason people didn't check on you because they thought you were gone. They thought you were never coming back. In their head, it made no sense to check on you because you were gone. And it makes sense because that's the same reason I don't check on certain people who are too far off into that lifestyle, you know? Like, I know there's nothing I could say for them to come back. I know that they're gone, you know what I mean? I still might love them, but, like, I don't love them enough to reach out, and you know what I'm saying? But there is people in that lifestyle that I do reach out to still, and I do try to do everything in my power to literally get them in programs and get their lives together, right? But granted, I'm grown now. I'm almost 30, so it makes sense for me to think like this. So this is why I gave them the pass, because they're kids. They were high too, just not as high as me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, but my mom put that in perspective, and I'm like, And it's got me thinking, like, why else would they not check in on me? Why else would someone not? You know what I mean? And that kind of hurt, like, when I thought about it like that and really sat with myself and understood it and analyzed it, because I'm not saying all of them feel that way, but I'm sure, like, a couple of them, you know what I mean? And it's evident, you know, like, now that I'm home, like, everybody was just watching and hoping not everyone, but some people were just watching and hoping it didn't happen. Like, it's evident, like, when I was on dope, they were just sitting there like, yeah, look at him. He had all these friends. He was the number one. He was the best player at football, but look at him now. And then I fixed that, went back to school, and it's evident some people were just like, oh, look at him, just the old ass motherfucker playing college football still. He's the oldest on his team. He's never. Then I finished that, got the bachelor's degree, double back, got the master's. So now and then it's evident now, like, I went pro overseas in Germany, and it's evident now they were just looking like, oh, look at this fool going pro, like he's not gonna make no money, he's gonna quit, he's not even gonna like it. And I did that, and I came back, and then I went back again because I loved it, and I was pro, like, and it's evident still these things were going on. And then they're like, look at him, Ray, hella old, still playing football. Like, what's his plan? Like, dudes, you literally used to ask me, what's my plan? Like the kid who got off meth, went and got a master's and went pro, didn't have a plan, coming from people who have been in the same place since I left on meth, you know what I mean? And they asked, like, oh, look at him, he's old as fuck playing football. Like, when's he gonna get a real job? I came home. I was working for my family's business for a while. It's a nonprofit, you know, but, like, I'm a very pivotal part in the business. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference when I'm there and when I'm not there. And it's my dad's business that he created before he passed away. So what else would I do if I didn't have a job when I came back? So I come home and I'm working, and it's very evident. Some people were like, look at him. He works for his family. He works for a nonprofit. That's not a real job. These are people who knew the plan. I've told these people the plan before. Then boom, got the county job pension, benefits, $80K starting, bam, raised every 6 months. Mandatory wellness hours I gotta take, PTO, all of it. It's the job. It's the job. It is the one. I'm part of a union. I can't get fired almost, you know, unless I, like, hit my supervisor. You know what I mean? So, and now we're here, and it's like they can't, like, you know, growing up, they always tell you, make sure you got a backup plan if you want to play football. And it's like, I listened, you know, I did that. I made sure I had a backup plan. I'm executing the backup plan, and I executed plan A, and I'm already operating on plan C. And it's evident now that people, you know, like, I do enough work on myself daily to understand, like, I'm not doing nothing but what I'm supposed to do. Like, I know I'm not doing nothing to these people, but it's evident now I've exceeded so many people's expectations that they don't have the courage to tell me whatever it is about me that they don't like, so we can get to the bottom of it and fix our relationship. And they're keeping it in, but I've exceeded their expectations so much that when we're around each other, they can't help but make weird remarks, have weird energy, say things to your friends that you probably shouldn't say, or you wouldn't say to a friend. You know what I mean? And I just find myself continually to give these passes, and it's making me uncomfortable at this point. And I know enough about myself, enough about growth, enough about maintaining my wellness that it's just time for me to remove myself, you know? And that hurts, man. And that hurts to think like some people really wanted me to stay high, but I get it, bro. Like, I used to be a bad person, bro. I was mean, I was arrogant, I was cocky, I was a liar, I would steal, I was untrustworthy, I was violent, I was angry. You know, I was a very mean person to some people, so I get that. But this is coming from people that, like, I thought we were like this. So it hurts, you know what I mean? It does hurt, but it's not enough pain for me to stop. You know what I mean? And it's very evident that this is the next step in my elevation, the next step in my growth, because every time I get close around these people, these said individuals, I can feel myself regressing mentally, spiritually. Like, I start thinking about things as if I'm in their shoes, you know what I mean? Because they're talking to me as if I am them, because that's the only way life works, you know what I'm saying? It's a mirror, not a window. So when I'm talking to them from where I come from, my vibration, it makes them feel uncomfortable because they don't feel that way about themselves, you know? So I can't keep making myself feel this way. I don't have to keep doing this, you know what I mean? I love them. They're my boys. These are my friends. But, like, I don't gotta continue to deal with this nonsense, you know what I mean? And maybe one day we could fix it and it can get back right. But until then, you know, I think it's best that, you know, I separate myself and continue on my journey. And, like, I don't really need to be around people right now like that, other than, like, if I do meet a woman, like, because it just distorts the reality. It distorts the thinking. Like, I need to have laser focus. I need to be stuck on my purpose. And I need to be stuck on my vision. I can't have any outside entities or energies penetrating this ecosystem that I've created, because I love the peace I found. I love the space I am in, and I completely love every fiber of myself, every bone in my body, from my toenails to my dreads, bro. I love everything about me. And I understand that makes people uncomfortable because for whatever reason, they don't feel that way about them. But that's why I'm on here doing this, because I believe that I've created a system that I can implement and show to anyone to feel this way. And that's where the passion and the aggression comes from, that they see from me, because I care that much and I understand, and I've been in their shoes. You know what I mean? Like, the situation and circumstances might have been different, but the pain, the anger, the happiness, the sadness, the envy, the jealousy, the inadequacies, like, all those feelings, I believe every human being feels that the same, you know? And that's all I'm trying to do, is just get their vibration up. But I'm not God. You know, we all have a piece of God in us, but I can't make no one do nothing. I cannot control every situation. And that's the next level of my elevation, because I've always had control issues and having to be right and this and that and the other. But today I understand right and wrong is subjective based on whatever we're talking about. We got the truth and we got the facts, man. Everybody can create their own truth. God gave us free will. He gave us consciousness. We could do that. But the facts are always going to be the facts, bro. And that's the reality of the situation. And the facts are, 8.5 years ago, I left this city because I was on crystal meth. Now we're here. I went back to school. I got to play football again. I got a bachelor's and a master's. I went pro overseas for 2 years. I went to the GFL semifinals my second year, and I came home and I helped my mother and my dad with the family business, with the nonprofit. And then I got a county job at 80K pension, 80K salary with the pension with benefits. Those are the facts. That's what I did. That's exactly what I said I was going to do in 2016 when I first got to the program. Those are just the facts, man. The truth, whether I'm better than you, right or wrong, whether I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that. I can't control that. Those are the facts, though. And you decide how you feel about it. You know what I mean? Because it's evident how I feel about it. You know what I mean? But I can't make or do or say or construct anything that's going to make someone feel the way I feel about it and make someone give me the authority I believe I should have. You know what I mean? And that's it for today. About to drop the Bubba Smokes pod on Bay Affiliated. Follow me on Instagram at StayDownFit_Ray. And yeah, thank you for the people who do tune in, and thank you for the people who do watch. It's early, bro. Like, I'm only on 50 something videos so far. Like, it's so early in this process, but I'm so committed and so dedicated to this. Not just this, but anything I put my mind to. I fucking know and I believe, and I can see it already working. I can see it. I can see the end already, and I'm doing exactly this, but bigger. Everything bigger. Everything. I got some dope stuff coming up. Getting more creative with my reels, getting less anxious, less the veil, not the veil, but the worry, the anxiety, the ruminating thoughts around creating content are leaving. I'm just having fun with it, and I'm loving it, man. And I'm loving everything about the process right now. I'm loving everything about life right now. I can't even lie. I don't even know when was the last time I felt like this, but I'm in a very good space. There are things in my life that aren't going the way I want to. There are certain behaviors and defects I still need to work on, but I wake up every single day and I work on them. I don't put something on it externally to make it seem or act or none of that, bro. I do what I'm supposed to every single day, and when I'm wrong, I admit it, and if I make a mistake, I apologize every time. I give every man respect. You know what I mean? Until he gives me a reason to no longer respect him. But even then, that doesn't mean I disrespect him. That just means I need to remove myself from around this man, because why would I be around a man I don't respect? Win the day.